Okay. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi taala wabarakatuh, and a very good evening to everyone. Welcome to the COGS workshop series, proudly organized by the College of Graduate Studies, University Tenaga Nasional or UNITEN. Tonight's session is titled Harnessing AI for Smarter Research and Scholarly Writing. And we are really excited to explore how artificial intelligence is transforming the way we conduct research and produce scholarly work. To officially open our session, I would now like to invite our esteemed Dean of the College of Graduate Studies, Professor IR Dr. Agliswari Ramasamy, fondly known here at UNITEN as Prof. Aggie, to deliver her welcome address. Prof. Aggie, the floor is yours.
Thank you so much, Aini. Welcome again, Dr. Chua. Welcome to all the students, all our colleagues, and all lecturers from UNITEN as well. It's a great privilege to have Dr. Chua here today to deliver the speech. So on behalf of College of Graduate Studies and University Tenaga Nasional, Dr. Chua, we welcome everyone to the COGS workshop series titled Harnessing AI for Smart Research and Scholarly Writing. Today's session promised to be an engaging and insightful one, and we are honored here again to have Dr. Chua Kee Man from University Malaysia Sarawak. Dr. Chua is well known for his work in educational technology and innovative learning practices, and he brings extensive experience in helping researchers and educators make effective use of digital and AI-driven tools. In this interactive workshop, Dr. Chua will guide us through practical strategy to leverage AI to improve research efficiency, enhance writing quality, and strengthen our scholarly output. Please join me in warmly welcoming Dr. Chua Kee Man. Thank you again, Dr. Chua, and all students and lecturers. Hope we have a very exciting night learning about AI today night. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
So I think Prof. Aggie already introduced a little bit about Dr. Chua's background. Okay, so maybe without further ado, we can, floor is yours, Dr. Chua.
Thank you, Prof. Aggie, and also Dr. Aini for kind of moderating the session in a bit. Thank you to UNITEN for inviting me once again. I think we had one earlier this year, and this is the second time for the for the same group of people. But I think like every time I share about AI in different workshops, I would say things changes so fast. Like what happened earlier this year may not be useful now, so things keep on changing. So I find myself struggling to cope as well with the different types of updates and all that. But yeah, we're back to this topic again, harnessing AI for smarter research and scholarly writing. I put that well sort of, because I think to make it smart or to make it really, really useful, it's really not about AI, it's about us. Because AI can come and go. If we have the right skill set, if we have the right mindset, I think we are the one who is going to make it smarter, not AI. Because I believe a tool is just a tool, as people always say. We are the one who will make sure that our usage of AI is going to be smarter. All right, so let's take a look at what I have put in store for this particular session. Let me see. So I kind of divided into three pathways because we have about 1 hour and 30 minutes. We may not have time to, tackle all the tools under the sun because there's just so many of them. So we'll probably handpick some and try our best to cover what is necessary. But I think what I want to highlight, if you notice, my second point is on the workflow rather than the tool, because I believe if we understand the workflow, whatever tools you have, it's easier for you to fit into that workflow. Once you know the workflow, whatever tools you want to plug in, it's easier to go through that kind of process. But I also added, the new status quo to start off this session, because we need to understand what's the current conversation that we're having. And of course, I end I'm going to end the session with the ethical part, the usual, how we navigate plagiarism issues and all this cheating and whatsoever. So let's start now. The second part, I will have a bit of a demonstration, but I don't think I can cover so many tools. So I will, if you're familiar with those tools, then I probably just skip. But let's see. I wanted to do a poll, but I just realized I don't have access to the chat. But never mind. This is just a quick overview on a scale of 1 to 5. How integrated is AI in your current search writing practice? Because I don't think I can see any chat room here, but I forgot to do the poll. But anyhow, if you think you have integrated AI well, maybe just give a reaction of a love. If you use it well, just give, just change the love. I can see some love there.
You are having too many loves now.
So many love, yeah. So everyone is using AI well. Anyone is not really, not really into it yet. Maybe those who are not into it yet can just give a smiling face rather than a shocking one, a laughing emoji if you are not so sure about whether you are familiar with that or not. I don't see any laughing face, so everyone seems okay. That's good. That's a good sign. All right. So okay, now I'm pretty because coming back to the topic for today, it's nothing really new, I would say, because I'm pretty sure a lot of you have attended different types of workshop, and different speakers will tell you different things, and and of course your own experience. Some of the academics here are also familiar with the rules, the hidden rules here and there about how to really use AI. But what I noticed over the years, if you talk about the logical aspect of it, if you talk about productivity, for example, so people have been talking about, we have all these AI tool, by right, we should be writing more, right? But then again, if you really check about your own productivity, even I myself, I don't think I'm that productive ever since AI appeared, because it kind of give you a bit of convenience in here and there. But when it comes to proper research, it becomes harder to convince yourself that that is a good one, because, AI is generating so many things. You start to doubt yourself. I don't know whether this happened to you. I realized especially last year, whenever you want to write something now, you kind of think like, oh, people will think this is AI stuff, and how do you convince people that it's really, really yours? So it becomes even harder to convince the reviewer, or to convince the editor and whatsoever. But I think we still have to embrace it, whether we like it or not, because AI is going to be part and parcel of this process. And today I'll be sharing some of the key things that I have gathered so far. So the new status quo, I think we kind of know this, the rise of what we call as Happy Meals paper. Happy Meal means, it makes researcher happier because you kind of have this, research output, but it's really fast but low quality kind of output. There's a lot of argument about the academic rigor. People have been talking lately. If you go to any journal, somehow more and more journals are getting more articles than before. But because of the AI kind of fast track output, in a way, you kind of get similar things all over the world. And you can see, like, a lot of people are arguing on the academic quality of all these papers. We get a lot of papers, but not maybe only a handful is really, really of good quality due to AI. All right. But there's also more stats here. You can see, like, 2023 set a record with more than 10,000 retraction. You can see every day actually now. Many linked to paper mills using MMM. If you check, there's another website on this. The amount of retraction is getting higher and higher, right? And because there's a lot of abuse on this, and of course, pro and cons. Sometimes it's not really your fault, and it's not even the fault of AI. It's more on the filtering, right? The process of editing and the process of reviewing. Then we also have this Wiley's new paper mill detection. Most journal publishers, they have their own detection. They don't use Turnitin and whatnot. They use their own detector to detect submission and all that. And you can see they flag about 14% across 6,000 plus journal only in the first month. After that, you see the number keep on increasing. And another one by Cornell University, you can see like 24% of papers were outright plagiarized or likely paraphrased from existing work and evaded automated plagiarism checkers. I think this is the trend now, because people realize that AI can do this. So a lot of people are trying to take advantage of it. But I think now is better. More journals are more cautious about this, because what matters is still the data. What matters is still the analysis. It's not about writing per se, right? You still have to make sure that your your analysis, your data, all are, well validated and so on. So it's not just about the writing part. So more journals are asking us to kind of make our data open, because it allows a bit more of checking, peer checking and all this. But I think mostly due to fabrication. It's not AI's fault in a way, because what happened now, if you take a look at the 10,000 retraction, a lot of people download one paper and then they feed it to AI and ask AI to reproduce the same thing, but fabricating some data. So as long as we are not doing this, right, as long as we are not fabricating our data, like we don't made up things or we don't made up some data, we are fine actually, because the writing part is just part of the process of reporting what had happened, but your data should not be, fabricated. Most of it is because of fabrication. You know what I mean? Like they made up things which are not there. So I think that's dangerous. That's not even AI's problem. It's more on the integrity of, as a researcher or as an academic, or even as a student, a postgraduate student, for example, right? Then you have this institutional response. Some people want to ban it. Some people don't want to ban it. Still, until today, there's still many arguments about this. In Malaysia, for example, not many universities can be brave enough to come up with a policy. Most just come up with guideline. I think only a handful of university, even UPM has a clear policy. Most universities are just having guidelines because we're not sure what's going to happen, right? If we do it as a policy, then there will be consequence on the usage and all that. But you can see mostly are confused, so they just follow the blind. I think now the ministry is trying to make a bit more like a consolidated effort. Now the ministry will come up with a policy, then the rest of the university can just follow it. Right now, we only have guidelines, not a clear policy yet across nationwide, if you talk about Malaysia. So let's say if you use it, if students, for example, if you use it and partially detected and all that, actually you are not wrong. All right, because it's not counted as plagiarism yet. It's just AI sounding writing, which I will talk about in a bit. Plagiarism means if something has been published and then you use it without citation and all that, then of course you're wrong. But when you're using AI to generate all these sentences, you are not really copying other people's work, right? Even though it's generated by AI. And we know that in copyright law, anything that doesn't belong to human is non-copyrightable. So whatever AI is creating, it's not really copyrightable because it's it belongs to AI. Okay, so these are some issues. Of course, what I noticed as well is the skill gap, right? The skill gap, not just among the academics but also postgraduate students. The level of usage among postgraduate students, for example, is still kind of low because the literacy of using AI properly still kind of low because most of the thing you just hear and there, you hear your friends using it, you see your friend using that, so you just use it. You don't really try to decide whether the tool can provide you a better workflow, right? In kind of helping you with the process of not only research writing, but also to go deeper in your research discovery. Like what I always tell my student as well, because those days, if you want to find articles and all this, then maybe we have to Google one by one. We have to search the website and everything. Now that we have AI to help us to kind of speed up the process, by right, the quality of articles that we choose for our review, the quality of materials that we cite should be better. We shouldn't be using AI to find some some superficial stuff, that can be easily gathered. So I think that's something that we need to remind ourselves. We AI now, actually, we need to increase the quality of our work, not to just replace the process or to speed up the process, but to make it better. So if you realize that you're still using AI just to gather some, random articles, you don't know where, just to put some citation there, then you are using it wrongly. You should use AI to really dig deeper and find a good quality papers that probably is harder to find just by using Google Scholar. So you use AI to help you, but you use those to support your study or to support your research to make it better rather than just to speed up the process. I think the key now is not about speed, it's the quality that we need to look at. So that's some form of literacy involved, because or else you'll be just using it blindly. Okay, so hopefully today I'll just trigger some ideas. I may not be able to cover everything in a short time, but like I put here, this isn't about whether we should use AI or not. It's about how we use it, because it's already happening. And the question is, will we be intelligent user or just the passive one? If you ask me myself, when I'm observing all these postgraduate students that we have, a lot are actually the passive one. You will get questions like, can I just speed up the literature review? Can this AI just generate these pages of literature review for me? That kind of question is telling you the mindset that we're having now with AI. If you get questions like, how can I ensure that with AI, I can get the top papers for me to improve my literature review? If you get that kind of question, means you know that you're trying to find out the best way to do the workflow or to increase the quality of your work rather than to replace the, the speed or the process of doing it. So the right question should be there, right? Not just to passively receiving whatever AI is generating. But I'm pretty sure, in any conversation that you have now, or even in any session that you go to, there will be people who ask you, so many software out there, which one do you think we should subscribe? And which software can solve this problem? One click can get all the literature review done. One click can all do analysis done. That's the wrong question to ask when it comes to AI or AI assistant in this process. All right. Okay. So this is just a quick overview. I don't think I have to explain this in detail, but I think all this while, before the emerging presence of ChatGPT in 2022, we have been using AI for so many years, actually, like Grammarly, Quillbot, all this existed since 2008, 2010, right? They have been there for so many years. Even Turnitin existed for so many years. There's some AI going on because the AI is just analytical, because they're analyzing your text, they're checking your sentences, they're checking your grammar and all that. But now I put an asterisk there because Grammarly and Quillbot can also be generative. But what happened was, when ChatGPT or all these LLM appeared, everyone started to be obsessed with generating content or creating content. We forgot about the analytical part. We just assume whatever is generated from AI is trustable. I mean, not we, maybe not you, but in general, I'm making a general assumption here. When the AI generated something, we just believe that it's true. For example, AI generated a paragraph with citation. You don't even read the article, but you assume whatever the AI is telling you is the truth, right? But when you read further, you realize, the paper never mentioned that. But AI kind of like, even though the reference is valid, the citation is valid, but somehow the paper never mentioned anything about the whatever is mentioned in the writing. So that's another layer of checking that we need to do, not just about how valid is the references, but whether the reference is using, the right manner of presenting the idea or presenting the content. So we'll be talking about this further, but there are many too. Ironically, even though I told you that we should not rely on all the tools, but I'll be introducing you some tools, because these are the tools that I have tried and tested. And I find that it's still okay to be used. It's just that you have to be more careful on the do and don'ts, right? Yeah, this is just a question. Where can bot meet the brain? As in, obviously we can use AI in many stages. You can use it for ideation and discovery. A lot of people now, even for grant applicants, when they apply for grant, they go to AI and ask AI for ideas. The recent cycle of all this grant, you will see a lot of emerging ideas come from AI, actually. So nothing wrong there in a way, because you're just using an assistant to find out what is the emerging trend, and then you try to discover the potential area. As long as you are still there to filter and to also check whether the idea is feasible or not. All right. Then you can also use AI for your literature review. This is very popular because literature review is one of the dreaded tasks that a lot of people hate to do. I've been in recent weeks, you will see people launching so many apps now, even by local academics. They will tell you that I have this app that can do SLR for you immediately. You just put your topic and then you can finish the systematic literature review immediately. I think, again, that's the wrong idea of using AI in a way. I know the intention is good. To kind of speed up the process of writing. But I think if we can do that, with one click, what's the point of having this scholarly pursuit in the first place, right? Why do we chase after all this scholarship of, trying to be better in a certain field of study and all that? We still have to come in, right? My point is we still have to come in to check whether all this review is correct or not. We should not use it as a shortcut. Of course, we can also use it for outlining and structuring, the drafting and all that. So these are all very popular. Pretty sure when we have an idea, we will put it on, LLM and ask it to draft first, and then we do the correction and all that. And of course, the final stage will be the editing and refining. When you get the feedback from reviewers or from anyone, you can just quickly ask AI to help you. But what I noticed in the trend now is, of course, maybe it's something that is going to be prevalent soon will be whenever you get a review report now, the trend is always to feed the review report or examiner report to LLM and ask LLM to summarize and, to help you to correct. I think that's okay if you just treat it as a first level kind of checking, just to be sure of what to put or what to correct or what to amend. But if you just copy and paste blindly, the AI will not be able to really understand the context or the overall flow of your idea. Even though, if you're lucky, then, you are just minor, there could be minor disjointment here and there. But I think what I'm telling you now may be invalid next year or maybe in a couple of years because things will be even more advanced. You really can't control this anymore, which begs the question of, I always ask people recently, is there still a need to write a thesis so long when you know that the thesis is just, generated pages and pages by AI? So maybe the trend in the future is to value your research pursuit more, your data, the way you collect your data, the way you present your findings, the way you defend yourself. I think that would be more meaningful in this scholarly quest rather than coming up with a thick, all this 500, 300 pages of thesis. And that the chunk of those writings are coming up from LLM or all this, chatbot. Okay. So something for us to think about. So this is a prompting framework that I shared. I think I shared before, but just to recap, we'll go through some of this in a bit. Not some of this, not this create kind of prompting, but the next slide later on. Usually, if you want to ask, AI to help you with something, regardless whether it's for research, for ideation or whatever, we always start with context. Some people love to use the word persona. It's actually the role. It's fine. You can also define your role or your persona, but context matters. Even if you don't tell people your persona or your role, context will be sufficient. But to help AI to produce something more meaningful, you need to make sure you give the expectation here and also the example if possible. I know this is a bit counterproductive to what I mentioned earlier, but let's say you are a beginning writer. You don't really know how to write certain style, or you don't really know how to write a journal paper, for example. The best way to start is to imitate, right? Imitation is one of the best art of learning, because when you imitate, you tend to be able to learn some of the skill set, right? But you have to, of course, imitate it ethically. What I'm telling you is, if you want to learn certain way of writing, you can always feed AI with some example and ask AI to generate the draft for you as a draft. But of course, things will be here and there, messy here and there. Some part may not be elaborated, some part may not be, given enough information, because you are the one who will be collecting the data and whatnot. So use AI for that kind of drafting first, all right? You can also specify the tone and action. This RAT to me is optional, but the critical one will be the context, will be the expectation, and will be the sample output. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have done this in your ChatGPT usage and all that, but these are some examples that you can prompt. For example, I'm preparing a manuscript for a high-impact education journal. If you can give this kind of context, this will be the context. And then if you want to put a role, you can, but it's really optional. This is persona, like you are an academic writing coach and copy editor with expertise in environmental education, for example. Then you can say what you need to do is the full text with listed references in APA, and all DOI must be verified, for example. So you can ask AI to do this. But I can tell you it's not 100% accurate in a way. There will be still some problem here and there. But use this framework as a guide to create the draft. Because I always believe one of the reasons why we got stuck in writing or in our scholarly and research and all is because we have no idea how to continue. So now, instead of pestering your friend or pestering your family members or whatever, you can pester AI. Go and ask AI to help you with, at least of some drafting, and then it triggers your ideas. Okay, I never thought of that, right? So AI can be a good spark in terms of idea as well, but don't copy blindly. I have to remind everyone on that. Don't copy blindly, because you still have to check whether it's valid or not. But how to do that? One of the problem with all the chatbot or all the ChatGPT and all this will be the hallucination, right? Everyone is talking about hallucination, but you're lucky. The current version now is getting better and better. The current version of ChatGPT 5.1, for example, they will kind of explicitly tell AI to go and check first before present something for you. Same thing with Google Gemini 2.5 Pro. They will verify first before presenting anything to you, and then the rest like Claude and all that. The recent change in ChatGPT 5.1, if you ask it to do something which is academically unethical, right? For example, if you upload a thesis and ask it to produce everything the same or change the data or fabricate the data, it will come up a warning. OpenAI has decided to do that. So there will be a warning, like it's unethical to do this and all that. Of course, user will just ignore that. But I can see OpenAI is trying to make a proactive move now to encourage people to use it wisely, not to just blindly copy everything. Because, when you ask it to generate, fabricate data or change certain data set or whatever, it can actually warn you. All right. Right now, it's still, not really, how to put it, under any legislation. But one day, if it becomes a crime, then it's easily detected, because the moment OpenAI detect that you're doing that, so you can be recorded as misuse or abusing the tools. So far, no. So far, it's still quite open, right? Of course, there's an emerging one that just arrived in Malaysia, Meta AI. Before this, it has been there for so many years, but only recent months, Malaysians are allowed to use Meta AI. So there's another issue as well, because Meta has its own policy when it comes to certain usage. So anyhow, this is a prompt, but what I will be sharing with you is some of the key prompts here to avoid hallucination. Something that you can do is, like, for example, number one, if you want to ensure that ChatGPT or all these LLM, don't simply give you all the references, you can immediately instruct it in your instruction towards the end, after you give a topic and whatnot, and then towards the end you can say, ensure only reputable journal articles are used with valid link to each. So what happened is, all these LLM, especially ChatGPT, will detect, and if there's no valid link to the sources or whatever, it will not list for you, right? So you have an explicit instruction to force it to check only reputable journal articles. So anything from newspaper cuttings or blogs or whatever will not be used in the in the material that you ask it to generate. Another one is, I find it very useful, because sometimes when I want to find certain article, a lot of people will go to the illegal sites. You know what site it is. If you know, that site where we download all the articles. But I find it recently, you can actually ask all this AI, especially again ChatGPT, to find articles that can be downloaded, because it will crawl all the web and try to find out whether there's a link to the article that you want. For example, like this, find a downloadable version of this article. So you give the link. For example, you find it from Taylor and Francis, but you cannot download the full text. But this is already full because I test it out. I copy the link, it's partial. Then I get to download the whole PDF. All right. It's not illegal, because it's finding sources from elsewhere for you, right? From ResearchGate or all these sources. So instead of you go and manually search one by one, you use this tool as your workflow helper. You get what I mean? It's like you have a research assistant next to you. Okay, you go and find this article for me. So your research assistant happily go and find out for you in seconds. Right? So that would be helpful as well. Another one is to find related articles and compare. The recent change to ChatGPT makes it even more engaging in a way. Like the quality of it is really, really nice. So I'm going to show you this now while we go to this particular part. The part about all this prompt that I just gave you. So this is ChatGPT first, because this is the most popular one. So I'm going to copy one of this. Let's say, let's try this, yeah. Okay, let's say I'm writing an article about AI and education, specifically in Malaysia, right? Then you end like this. Just copy this. Ensure only reputable journal articles are used with valid link to each. I think I will share my slide to Dr. Aini later on, and then it can be distributed. I don't think I can share anything now, but it will be shared through Dr. Aini. Okay, so let's say you do this. There's a simple one first. We try out a simple one first, and then just submit. Then immediately you will see ChatGPT. This is 5.1. If you are using the free one, I think it's still already 5.1, but you don't see the 5.1. It's automatically ChatGPT. You can see it's thinking a bit harder now, even though I'm not using the thinking mode. You can definitely see it's doing more work now, better work, and you can see all the sources, like all the all the reputable one. All right, so yeah, you see, I can't display, and then I'll use the DOI, blah blah. So just wait for it to cook. If you are a bit impatient, you can click answer now. But if you click answer now, the quality will not be that good. So you just let it, do some work for you. And it's trying to find all these so-called reputable journals and all this, rather than just some random blog articles or whatever. You can see it's trying to crawl even the institutional repository and all this, right? Okay, wait for it, and then you will see the outcome. See, avoid preprint, avoid all this. So it's like and all this. But you can also trigger it like if you have a list, that would be better. If you have a list of journal that you normally refer to, or the top 10 maybe, the one that you think should be there. So it will list it out, right? You don't know how long this will take, but usually it will take longer if you want to find longer one, better ones. Let's see how long should I wait, or I'll just click answer now. Because we may not have time to cover for 1.5 hours. Let's see, yeah. Hopefully can work in a short time. But this is a good sign, right? The moment you see that AI is working hard for you, that means it's not simply coming up with some hallucinated materials and so on. So you can see that even though you don't activate the deep research mode, because ChatGPT has this deep research thingy, right? You don't have to use this. You can use the normal one, because the current version is way better, right? It's way better than the way better than the previous version, 5.0 or even 4.5, right? Still working. Okay, maybe I just answer now because it's waiting too long. But just to let you know that this is how you try it, okay? Because it's taking a bit longer than usual. If you click answer now, then it will skip the whole process and then just find for you. But you will definitely get the link, and you can check whether it's true. Sometimes it's invalid. If it's invalid, then you know that it's invalid. But this one is okay. All right. It's just that you are not formatting it in APA yet. You have to prompt another one, format in APA, and so on. But what I like is because you trigger it to, if you follow the step just now, because you trigger it to do it immediately, you save a lot of time. Because if you don't put this immediately, what you need to do is you are the one who's going to check the references one by one manually. But at least this one, everything is listed for you. You can quickly check. You still have to check, by the way, because you never know what something went wrong. But at least everything is listed for you. All right, and you can just quickly check whether it's relevant to you or not, right? This is one. But another one that I like is the one I told you just now. Find related articles and do a comparison table. Let's say I do maybe this one, maybe find 3 related articles and do a comparison table. So you can do a matrix if you want to. Without using all these third-party tools that we have, like all this ScienceBase or whatever. You can immediately do it in the ChatGPT itself now. After all the tools out there, they actually pay ChatGPT anyway. They pay OpenAI to use the ChatGPT API. So, instead of going to the third-party tool, might as well you spend more time here, right? So I'm asking it to find 3 related articles and do a comparison table. I don't know how long it will search. The longer, the better. But in our case, because we don't have enough time, so let's see. Sometimes, yeah, AI is really hardworking. Okay. Let's see. Waiting for it to find the reputed journal. But you can see some, because I put Malaysian, right? You can see some familiar names, of course, right? Probably some of your names are here too. Okay, maybe I'll just put answer now. I just want you to see the outcome, right? Because it's going to take a bit of, longer process to really get in detail. So, all right. So you have the selected articles because you ask it to find 3, and then it will do the comparison table directly. All right. Of course, the comparison table here, it will be better if you tell ChatGPT or all these LM what to look for. You can ask for like theoretical framework, methodology, or key findings. Okay. If you have certain things to search, then it's better to list out immediately. Like find 3 related articles and do a comparison table in terms of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you give your criteria or your, how to put it, your elements that you want to look for, right? So that will be one way to make use of the current ChatGPT if you would like to use it. Okay, let me try another one just now. Like find a downloadable version of this article if you can find, but I don't know whether I can find one. But yeah, this is one technique. Maybe I start a new chat because this one has a different flow. So if you have a link, let's say if you have a link to something that you can't find the full text, for example, just paste the link there, but you say find a downloadable version of this article, and then it will try to search, it will try to crawl, and then it will list out. So you can see this article is available in UCL, Discovery, so you can just download, right? But yeah, I think this one is preprint maybe, but you can check. Yeah, but it's the right paper. Okay, so this will be one way to help you to find. So if you struggle to find certain article, instead of just going to the illegal website, which sometimes will not work, you can also ask ChatGPT to help you to find. Okay, or another tool is of course Gemini, but the problem with Gemini is because it's controlled by Google. Because Google want to make money, it will still prioritize web search. So no matter how you try to force it not to use the web, it will somehow include some web there because they are earning from the ads, right? So, but it's good enough for you to search some of the material from Google Scholar and all those. But still, you will get some link from blogs or some newspaper articles and all this. ChatGPT seems to be more, how to put it, more professional in that sense. It will follow your instruction without selling you any ads. If Google Gemini, sometimes it will sell things as well, right? Just to force you to kind of go to the Google site and all those. Okay, but this is for the basic prompting. All right, so let's kind of go back to my slide. But if you have any question, feel free to disturb me. But I don't have access to the chat, so probably need to unmute if you have any question. But let me go on first. Oh yeah, the prompting. Later on, once you get this slide, you just click on my Notion page. I have a few links, quite a number of prompts that you can use, right? So you can just go to this link, from ideation until visualizations, right? And also analysis. So I won't go through one by one because there's just too many of them. All right. So you just go through this, just try. And it's not limited to ChatGPT, by the way. You can use it in any LLM, but I think the best one that I've tried, of course, is still ChatGPT. The next one for research is actually Copilot is also quite good, right? Because Copilot uses ChatGPT's engine anyway. It's just that Microsoft link it with Bing search. So you can rely on ChatGPT, Gemini, Copilot, or Perplexity. So using the same prompt if you need this. So this is free access, to all of you. So later on, once you get the slide, you just click the link, and then you'll be able to go to this page, right? Because it's just too impossible for me to cover all the prompts in a short time. Okay, let's go to some useful tool. But I'm pretty sure you have seen some of this tool. But I would probably highlight some key features. I don't want to repeat the same thing over and over again. But one of the emerging tool that I think is really, really helpful now is NotebookLM. Of course, people will say use NotebookLM to create all the podcasts or whatever. But I find it is a useful tool to also compile all your material. You get what I mean? You have, because you have unlimited, not unlimited, you have a certain number of notebook that you can create for free account, but you can treat it like one notebook for one topic, one notebook for another topic, and all the articles related to that topic, you just put it in the same notebook. So it helps you to kind of save your materials better, rather than putting in a folder in Google Drive, wherever it's very hard for you to find, right? If you treat it like a reference manager, like Mendeley, like EndNote and all this, if you treat it that way, I think it's really going to be very, very useful. So instead of putting all your articles that you found in a folder or whatever, you just quickly dump it in your Notebook LM, right? I'm pretty sure some of you have used this, but if you have not ever used this, what you can do is you just create a new notebook, and it will ask you to put in all your materials here. But if you don't want, you can just name it first. Let's say you are doing several topics. Let's say you talk about maybe self-efficacy. So you have one notebook for self-efficacy only, all right? And then you go to maybe I'll just download all these articles from here just to demonstrate. This one is nothing to do with self-efficacy, also, of course, but I just want to download one. Okay, put it on the desktop, save, and then go to your Notebook LM. Go to your Notebook LM and then upload all the resources related here, or you can just do a quick search. But I prefer download, because when you download, at least you verify the content first. Then you save the hassle of double checking again. So it's good to download and then upload the articles here, and then it will immediately generate a summary based on the article. So the more the better. So if I search here, if I were to search this, of course, so I can just do this. Now it comes with fast research. I'm not sure whether you have this, because I noticed some free users do not have this yet. Free accounts do not have this fast research yet. Fast research is like, it will help you to find all the relevant articles. So you just import. But you can see when you search like this, it will go to Wikipedia and all this, which you don't need, right? So it's better for you to download the articles that you gathered and put it here. Treat it like a notebook, like a compilation for that particular topic. All right? Why? Because if you need to ask anything, let me just remove this. Delete. I don't need that. If you need to ask anything, you can just ask it here. All right. So let's say if you have 10 articles here, you can just ask it to summarize or whatever. So it's easy to find. All right. So what the author mentioned about, let's say, AI usage, for example. So you can ask question. Immediately, it will refer to the sources here. So in a way, you are gathering everything in one notebook, instead of just using it as a tool to learn something. You also use it as a keeper, right? Like a reference manager to keep everything here. Of course, you can't link it to your Google Doc or whatsoever yet, because if you use Mendeley and whatnot, you can put the citation there. But at least you have a place where you compile everything, all right? And it makes it easier for you to find the resources, and it goes to the pages. It will tell you which page, right? So immediately it will go to that page, and then you will be able to find what you need to find. So it's very, very useful when it comes to compiling all your resources under one notebook. So if you have like 5 variables or 5 key topics, then you will have 5 notebooks. If you have 20, go ahead. One notebook can store up to 50 for free user, I think, or 200, I can't remember. But the pro one is 300. I don't think you need that many for one topic, right? 50 is already a lot for one topic. If you have like 5 topics, that would be 250 articles. So that's quite a lot to digest, all right? Another thing about Notebook LM is this thing called mind mapping, right? Mind mapping is really, really useful. If you click mind map, it will generate the mind map for all the resources here that you have. Right now, I only have one. If you have another one, you just upload. Then you will have the mind map. The good thing about this mind map is it's dynamic. So it will tell you the key things mentioned in the article, right? You can immediately go to the part that you want. Let's say you want ethical and policy concern. Let's say you want to go to this part, you just have to double click this, and it will immediately help you search or kind of chat with the PDF to find out the part that you want. Then it will generate the outcome for you. So it saves a lot of time in terms of trying to find the necessary input for your writing or for your for your reporting. Remember, I told you just now, a lot of time when you have the citation, but when you check the paper, it doesn't mention that. So this one thing I like about Notebook LM is because we control the resources, not like the open, LM, like Gemini, ChatGPT, because it's open. You don't know where they get it from. This one, you know where they got it from by clicking the number here. So at least you can verify, is it true that this article is talking about this? So you click, then you can immediately go to that part and verify, oh, okay, this article actually mentioned this. What happened is the PDF just now is extracted in terms of the text, so it's easier for the LLM to read. If you open the PDF, it's the same thing. It's the same, it just extract the text out so that it's easier to search, right? So this is really, really useful if you want to make sure that your literature review is not misleading or you are not cheated by the AI. Sometimes we got cheated by AI. AI said, the author said so, but when we check, the author never said so. So yeah, so you have to be careful on that as well. So that's the one thing that I noticed is good. You can also do the same in ChatGPT. It's just that ChatGPT, because you have to upload many files in the custom GPT, and it's not free, right? It's not free. The free user will not be able to upload that many articles. If you use Notebook LM, because it's free still, I mean, you have the free option. One notebook can have 50 files, and there's no limit in terms of the number of notebook yet. I think they have not limit the number of notebook, but that means you can just do as many as you want at the moment. All right. Also, the multilingual support. It's really, really amazing. Just now I upload an article in English. Somehow, let's say I found an article from another language that I'm not comfortable in. I need to understand in my own language, for example. I can just change the setting here. I go to output language. I change to another language. Let's say I want to read in Malay. So I just go and find Malay here, Melayu, save. Then whatever you have here, if you refresh, let me just refresh this. I change the output. Let's say apa itu self-efficacy. For example, if I change in Malay now, all the output later on will be following the output setting here. So every time you need to change the language, you have to change the output language here first. Right now, you can see all these are in Malay. Right? If you click this one, it will still go to the sources here. Where is it? Right, in the original article, but it translated in the Malay language for you. I mean, this is one example. Vice versa. So if you have content in another language, you want to change it to English, you just change the setting here, change the output language. All right. Okay. Of course, people are using this for the audio overview, right? The podcast and everything. And you also have video overview now. If you are not familiar with this, you can explore it later. You can create an audio podcast to explain about the article, which I find it, maybe you don't need that, because in our case, as researcher or even as postgraduate student, your concern is more on getting the right summary from all the sources rather than the audio or the video overview. These two tools are useful if you're learning. It's fine. Right? Let's say you're trying to understand certain concept, you can change it to audio. You can also change it to video, because the video will explain in a kind of like in a easier way to understand, right? If you want to understand what I mean, for those of you who have never used this, let's say I click this. So I can create a video like this immediately based on the resources. This is my slide, of course. So I just upload, and then I can create a video like this. So it will kind of explain. So, right? So this is useful if you need to understand certain concept, but may not be that useful for research, I guess, unless you are trying to figure out what to present, or maybe some idea on how to explain certain things. Then you can use this studio part where you go for a video overview. Right now it's free. I'm not sure how long. If you click this edit button, you can select the style. You can even mention whether you want a long one or a brief one, and then you can give your instruction here. All right. So I leave this for you to explore, but my how to put it, my suggestion for you for using Notebook LM, this notebook.google is to use it like a compilation of all your material or article, like helping you to be more systematic in gathering all the resources. So you can have like Mendeley or EndNote to manage your reference list and whatsoever. You can also use Notebook.im to compile all the all the articles or materials. So far, because there's no limit, so I mean in terms of the size, just use it. All right, I mean size as in the file size, right? So just use it while it's still free. Okay, so that is Notebook.LM. I'm pretty sure a lot of you have heard about it. Next one is recently getting a bit more popular, is what we call as Answer This. So I will introduce like maybe a similar one later on. We just cross-check. I mean, just to let you choose. What I have been, trying to kind of promote is more on the discovery and searching part, not so much on the writing part yet, because the writing part can be a bit tricky when we talk about, plagiarism and whatnot. But let's click this. AnswerThis.io. How many of you have used this? Maybe show love. Did I see any love? Let me see. So many of you here, so I can't really see everyone. Anyone have used this? I don't see any love. Just show some love. Or maybe you're trying to find where is the love. Okay, never mind. It's harder because I don't have the chat function enabled. So it's hard to let you chat. Okay, anyhow. So you have to answer this. If you go in. Oh, yeah. The question that I always get is it free? So you go to pricing. It's free if you are limited to all this usage, which I think is good enough, because you have 5 credit per month. If you need to do some extensive AI search, which I don't think you need, because you can use the this function elsewhere, like ChatGPT and all this. You probably need better access and instantly change citation into different type of format and search all through the web. And you have also a bibliometric analysis. So good enough for the free plan. If you're happy with it, if you want to subscribe, it's up to you. But I didn't subscribe as well, but good enough to use for the free version. So let me to show you how it looks like. If you have never used this, just sign in using your Google. You can see the coin here, the upgrade part. You don't need that because you have that credit. What happens is like this. They are very clever now. They don't really charge you, but there are certain feature. Let's say if you want to use certain feature, sometimes they don't show you. When you want to use certain feature, right, it will ask you to use up your so-called the premium coins or the the advanced search. All right. So looks similar to a lot of LLM, right? Looks similar, but you have a full review here. You have a quick Q&A, depending on what you want to do. Quick Q&A is that you are chatting with Answer This to figure out something. I don't encourage you to do this here. All right, I don't encourage you to do this here because you're going to waste your kind of credit. So all this kind of quick Q&A, you can do it in the ChatGPT or other LLM like Gemini. You use Answer This for something more critical, more useful, like a full review. This one will take a bit of time. So you ask you for paper. Do you want any papers? You want internet, library, or what? And all those. Library is your resources. The library here function like Notebook.im just now. You upload all your papers, right? But there's some limitation here. You can also attach directly, or there's a tweak here. See, this is what I like about Answer This. You can decide the quality. You want Q1, Q2, Q3, Q4, or all. All right, so let's say I want to limit to Q2 only. And this one current value, in terms of the citation. Do you want it with citation count or you just want it to be 0? It's fine, 0. So let's say I want a journal article and only review papers. I don't want book chapters. I don't want preprints. I don't want conference paper. And then I go for Semantic Scholar and OpenLX. Sometimes PubMed is also good. This is for medical especially. Then if you want to go for website, then you can go for EDU or government. If you are going for websites, then you can choose the start date, from what year to what year. So this helps to limit. Let's say I just try, maybe I just put here 2020, all right, to 2025, all right. You can pick an exact date if you want to. Let's just pick one date today. And then this one from 0101. Okay? All right. Just submit search first, but I have not submitted any question yet. So maybe I will remove internet. Yeah, I don't want internet. So AI in education. All right. Then you can click the filter again or check the filter. All this good. All right, submit. And then it will start doing the search for you based on your criteria just now, right? So let it cook. I've kind of used this for I use the free one, by the way. I'm using the free one. But I'm quite surprised with the quality. Even though it's using the ChatGPT engine, this is powered by ChatGPT, but the the quality of it is not bad, right? Right now it's only because it's asking me a question now because the scope I'm not that specific just now, so I have to make it more specific. So are you interested? So I'll just put like this scope. The more specific it is, the better, of course, right? Because you are trying to look for something. So I'll just put like this. Too lazy to think now. All right. So education level, I will just use it as, let's say, university or maybe higher education. All right. Maybe type of information. I will go for future trends and recommendations. These questions are asking you to be more specific, actually. So by right, just now, when you give the prompt, you should give all this information, right? So I'm just going, okay, let's say I just do this, then I will ask it again to search, all right, processing. Because based on my current one, apparently it says no Q1 because no specific information yet, right? So let's see whether now you can have more sources from other, other journals, okay? You can see all this Q1, right? So no sources for this question yet. Just wait. All this kind of advanced tools where you can do deeper search and all this will take some time, yeah. So you have to be more patient. Right now, I don't have any. Yeah, I have the sources now. You can see I have sources for Q2, right? I don't have Q1, so I have at least some Q21. So how do you know? You have to verify, of course. But what I like is you can have this PDF available. So let's say if I click this, I can download the PDF immediately. Okay? Don't know whether this Q2 probably looks like Q2 to me. All right. But you have to check, of course, right? You are the one who's going to verify this. And I only have 5. But you see here, view all papers, you have to upgrade. You can use your coin here if you want. But using the free one for 5 and then you just search again for 5 is more than enough, actually. Keep on looping because you can keep on searching, like repeat the same thing a number of times, and you can exclude all this from the list, right? See, you can see 10, but I only have 5 anyway. I mean, the search here for Q2 only have 5 based on my scope here, but not only answer this, try to find out all this article for you, it also try to summarize it for you on this page. You can see all this citation. This is using IEEE numbered format. If you don't like this, you can try to change it to APA. Not 100% accurate, I would say. Still some errors here and there, but good enough for you to check. Because sometimes all this, citation tool can be misleading. Like the name like this, probably you need to check, right? And of course, the in-text citation. The in-text citation, like this one, the bracket should be here. So the parenthesis should be here, right? So this one AI is still having problem. Sometimes cannot differentiate between in-text and also end-text citation. But I think this is where we come in to just verify it. If you click on this, you can see it directs you to the article. If you click on this, you can also go to the article, right? So I wouldn't say this is like 100% useful for everyone, but it's good enough for us to search, right? And you also have other features like AI Writer, citation map, and diagram if you want to. But like AI Writer, I don't encourage you to do it here because the AI Writer will require you to pay. And after all, you don't need this here. If you want to have that drafting and everything, you can do it in ChatGPT or Gemini. This is more on the searching part, the discovery part. So you can even import from Zotero or Mendeley. If you already have your material in Mendeley or Zotero Reference Manager, you can just import it here. Then it will try to help you find out all the other related ones. So save more time for you to manage your, your references and all this. Okay, and it's syncable with this, each other. So you can synchronize with the with your tools. Whatever you do here will be synchronized to Mendeley. Whatever you do in Mendeley will also be synchronized to this particular space. All right. The one that they are experimenting now is a diagram, but you see, you have to pay this one. It kind of visualize the thing, but I don't think you need this. You know, visualize doing some visualization of your material. I don't think you need that. So what you need to do with Answer This is actually to search, to make use of the powerful search tool, right? If you think it's not giving you what you want, then you probably need to try, change the setting a bit, like this one. Probably don't restrict yourself to all this quartile. If you find that Q1, Q2 is a bit too restrictive, then maybe you can, expand it to Q4, or maybe Q3, or go for, different sources. At the moment, they still rely a lot on Semantic Scholar. Same with Perplexity. Perplexity also rely on Semantic Scholar. So this is one option for you to try. If you do not want to use all this search engine, you can also upload your articles to the library, your own library here. When you click library, you will be able to upload the same thing like what you did, or what I suggested you to do with Google Notebook LM just now, if you want to. But this one has more feature here where you can do the full review of all the articles and also the gathered resources. Okay, so just in case if you're wondering, this is the rate if you want to pay, but I don't encourage you to pay. Just use the free version. Will be more than sufficient to search for articles. All right. Okay, another counterpart to this, which I put on the slide, is Logically. I try to avoid some other tools which is already popular because I think we covered that in our session earlier this year. But this is another counterpart. It used to be called F4 AI, but now it become Logically app. This one is quite similar to Answer This. Let me just quickly show you. So it's quite similar to Answer This. So you have a choice whether you want to rely on Answer This or Logically. But to me, you just make use of both to find materials only because you're not going to rely it to write anyway. Just use them to find things that you need, right? So saves a lot of time in terms of searching for all this material. Not in terms of writing, but more on searching, more on finding out the latest trends and the latest emerging scope that you can go into, right? So if I go to pricing again, just in case everyone is asking pricing, see here, free. You have access to all product. You have access to most features. It says most, but really, really most, right? And then standard AI model. You have 5 AI auto-suggested per day, right? You don't have to wait per month. 5 queries per free tool per day. And then you have 500 megabyte of reference or 5 store. If you need to store anything here, I don't think you need to store anything, but they give you some space here. You can also store, right? So good enough for the free plan for you to try. And you don't even have to subscribe if you don't need this. So I'm just going to log in for you to take a look, right? Okay, this is how it looks like. It looks a lot like Notion. If you're familiar with Notion, it has that Notion vibe when it comes to the, how to put it, the interface or the user experience. Has this, the Notion OS kind of look, right? Okay, so you have a few options here. Create document. This is where you write here, which I don't encourage. You can write it elsewhere in ChatGPT or wherever you want. You can upload material like Notebook LM. This is copying Notebook LM. And then you also have research with AI. So normally we will use these two. We will use these two functions. You can also use it to manage your references and also write and cite with AI. So this is more like, again, finding resources and help you with the with the reference management. So let's say I go for research with AI now. So you have Semantic Scholar mode, you have Google mode, and you have document retrieval mode. Document retrieval means Logically will prompt itself to go and find and then gather the articles or gather the PDF and do the comparison whatsoever. So you can try any mode. Let's say I try to go for semantic mode first. Then you can type here. By the way, the difference between Answer This and Logically app, even though Answer This uses ChatGPT, the Logically app use multiple models. You can see here, multiple models. This is what I like. It allows you to change model. If you don't think you're getting anything from this Gemini Flash model, you can change it to GPT-5, or you can also change it to Claude. These are all good models, right? So whatever suits you. Unlike Answer This is using ChatGPT, but it's not transparent. It's hiding at the back, so it doesn't tell you what model is using. Logically app actually tells you explicitly the model that they are using. All right. Okay, what is the difference then? If you have access to Gemini Flash and all this, why do you need to rely on the Logically app? Actually, it's the tweaking, because if you use Gemini or if you use ChatGPT, you are the one who needs to prompt, right? You need to prompt. You need to prompt, make sure that everything is according to what you want. What all these tools are doing is actually helping you to solve that problem of prompting. You don't need to prompt that that complicated. Whatever all the filtering and everything has been done for you. Your job is just to tell the topic or whatever you need to search, right? So let's say I search another one. Maybe I change topic now. Self-efficacy among Malaysian students, for example. So I will use this one first. Again, same thing. You can have this custom instruction if you want to. What language you want, using what kind of citation, you can just prompt there. You can also change the setting here, the type. This one, I think, yeah, auto mode. You have to disable the auto mode first. Then you can change the duration here. Let's say I just put here 2020. All right. Then the type, same thing like Answer This just now. This saves a lot of time, right? Because if you use ChatGPT and Gemini, they will give you everything. And then, you have to go and find out which one is the correct journal and which one is the article and all that. So you can just immediately decide what you want. Maybe just go for meta-analysis, review and journal articles, and then field of study, you can pick if you want to. Let's say I want to focus on education. All right, and then close this one because you're setting here, and then just submit. So logically, we'll try to sort, everything according to your preference, your setting just now. Okay. Yeah. So now you get the data sources. You get to review the data sources before everything is generated. You will see all this, being listed for you. You can view one by one if you want to. Immediately you will get like a quick summary of all the resources. One thing I like about Logically app is the citation is better in terms of the formatting. It will always use APA for the first draft. You can change it later on, but yeah, you can see a quick summary of your key topics already. By reading this, for example, by having this draft, for example, you have a quick overview of what is the latest trend between 2020 to 2025 in Malaysia, because your topic is self-efficacy among Malaysian students. Of course, you have to be more specific. This is too broad. So you can go and, go through this immediately and then decide whether you want to go further on the topic or you want to ask more questions, you can ask, right? Let's say summarize the, how to put it, the methods used in table format. I don't think they will follow, but you just see. You want it to be, all this paper, just check the method use, right? Whether they're using certain method or whatever. So you can also chat it here. Just give your prompt or chat, and then you will be able to try to help you with that. All right, so you can see this is trying to do it now. So yeah, it's going through all this, still not done yet. Wait for it to do it for you. What I like about Logically app is the interface, actually. It looks a bit cleaner, like, not that messy. And it has this, ChatGPT-like kind of style with Notion interface kind of color. Okay, still working here, still working somehow, generating the response, trying to do the table now. Hopefully not stuck. Okay, still generating. See, don't stop now. But you can see it's trying to do the table because I asked summarize the method used. So it will go through the article and try to find out the the method used in every article. So let me just refresh. Somehow it's like stuck now. Is it there? Could be, yeah, this one. Let me just scroll. Maybe I'll prompt it again. Summarize the method used in table format. You can, okay. Did I just? Oh, okay. Maybe it was too slow to work, so I'm a bit impatient. But you know what I meant, right? So you can do this actually. You can ask it to do the kind of comparison across the papers, so that you at least you know what are the method used. Okay, let it cook. I think I don't want to intervene. What else do you have in Logically app? You can see is a good tracker here, but every day you have a 5 query reset, so I think it's fine. You don't really need to ask so many questions, because one question you can get many things already. So try to prompt nicely. You get everything done. Right now, if you were to spend 1 or 2 hours on this, you can go through all this article. At least you can decide, okay, I want to include this in my literature review. I want to include this in my discussion. At least you have an idea of what to include, because, rather than hunting in the blind, how to put it saves a lot of time. Okay. Still generating, I think it's going to take some time, because it's trying to draw the table, everything. So you can explore this. I don't think you need the reference manager here, but it's really, really useful. You can upload the file, upload URL, or upload DOI. You can gather all your resources here. It feels a lot like Mendeley here, right? If you have used Mendeley, you will know what I meant. It looks similar in terms of the interface, right? Document writer, I don't think you need this. Same thing like answer did just now. This one, actually write it here. You can actually write it in your other platform like ChatGPT and all this. You don't really need to write it here. So I do think AI is really, really useful to help us to find resources and to kind of give us an idea of where to proceed or where to go, and what to focus on. I think that is the key thing about using AI in a smarter way, right? Not about just generating the writing or the summary alone. Okay, I think because we're running out of time, so let me just go back quickly on this. Yeah, the last tool is Insightful. This is just to find connected papers. I think you can explore it on your own later on. This is very straightforward, free, totally free. You just search your topic here, AI in education. It will do the mapping for you, and you can, let's say this is the most relevant one to you. Just click View Graph. Then you will be able to see the how to put it. You'll be able to see the related papers. If you zoom out, you will see like which paper is the, is connected to which paper. The darker the color, the more recent it is. The lighter, the older. You can see people are still citing Russell, because he's one of the prominent one about AI. And you can see a lot of connection to this paper. So you might want to look at this paper, for example. So this helps you to visualize what are the most recent paper that you can focus on. This paper is also widely cited. This paper is also widely cited. So all you have to do is just double click, and then you will get the connection. And if you can't download the paper here, you can search it from other sources. Like if you can ask ChatGPT, you can just copy the title, ask ChatGPT to find it for you if you want to, or just go to Google Scholar. That will be another way. All right. If there's any open access one, it will give it for you. Like you can just click here and go straight to the paper. So helps you to find. This one you can't download the full article, so you can just ask ChatGPT to find the full paper for you. All right, so that's one way, or just go to Google Scholar and find it. So that will be also for searching for related articles. Okay, some other tools that you can explore. I'm pretty sure you have heard of all this: Sciencebase, Paperpal, Litmaps, Consensus, Research Rabbit. There's so many of them, but the focus is still using it to find the most relevant articles, or most how to put it, most relevant one to yours, and of course to make it of good quality, not some random papers that you get from Google. At least you get some reputable one for you to use. Okay, I leave it as well. By the way, Sciencebase recently has changed a lot in terms of the AI feature, because now they become like a meta AI agent. They have this super agent concept. So not everything is free now. I think almost everything when you search, you have to pay. But you can explore it later on, right? Okay, so let's go to the last part or last section for my sharing for tonight. The ethical part. What is ethical use? I think there's a big question that a lot of people are asking. One is transparency. I think we have to be honest about the tools that we are using. and we disclose as required. I myself, for example, when I publish in most papers these couple of years, I always disclose, right, in the submission to the editor. So I would just write there, like the article is run, is checked using ChatGPT to write certain part, or I would say that the whole chunk of the literature review is screened through using ChatGPT and all that. I just disclose it. So if the editor say no, then no. But so far I have no issue about that so far for my case. They are okay as long as we don't just copy and paste blindly, because we still have to put citation, proper checking of the resources and everything. So we just have to be honest. The problem is when we use it, like especially postgraduate student, when you use it, you pretend that you're not using it. When people ask you, you just say, oh, I write it on my own, but you know that you actually use some tools to help you. So might as well just be honest about it, right? In fact, by being honest, it gives you the sense of accountability, which is this one, because you are the one responsible for the output, right? The AI is a tool, not a real co-author. You get what I mean here? Sometimes we forget, if we just put all the AI content in our paper, our name is at stake, right? Our reputation is at stake. So you don't want your name to be tarnished for something that is wrong or for something that is not right, right? You have to remember, even though AI generated the paper, your name is there. There's no AI name there. So you are responsible for whatever is produced by AI. That's something that I think a lot of people forget. So they just generate everything, assuming that they will be able to go through or bypass the system without realizing that their name or their reputation is also at stake, right? Doesn't matter whether you're an academic or whether you're a postgraduate student. You don't want your name to be known for the wrong reason, right? So you still have to be 100% responsible for your work, right? And then originality, of course, the core idea, even though you ask AI to draft it for you, to write it for you, but the core idea is essentially yours, right? And also the data, especially. You are the one who go and collect the data. You are the one who do the analysis and everything, even though with some help, but you are the one who knows what you're doing when it comes to data collection, data analysis. AI is just helping you, like a research assistant, helping you with the process, right? And last one, the ethical part is, of course, to verify all the time. No matter how good or how advanced the AI, has become, you still have to come in as the human checker. Like, use all these tools like NobleM just now and all this. At least you can verify, okay, that article actually said that, so I can use this part. Or maybe I have to paraphrase a bit in terms of what was mentioned, but I still have to cite the article, right? I still have to give citation to the article, because this, even though NobleM rewrite the whole thing, it's still not yours. It comes from the article. Okay, so you have to cite. Okay, this one, finding the just right solution. I think another option here, which if you really want to write with AI, I've been training myself to do this as well, is to be part of the process with AI. You don't let AI write completely, right? I think if you know this Canvas mode, this is really, really useful. Maybe a quick one before I, wrap this up. If you're not familiar, every time you want to write something, you activate the Canvas mode here. Make sure there's a Canvas mode. What happens is you become co-writer, because you can write together with AI. Let's say write a paragraph first, a paragraph about AI in education. Oops, sorry. When you activate the Canvas mode, it becomes like an editable platform, like you are writing on Microsoft Word or Google Doc. So it helps you to co-write together. So if you click edit here, you are like co-writing, you see? You can actually edit this immediately. So if you don't like this, let's say I don't like this, I will just delete. I will just delete it. So AI will not stop me from doing it because I'm co-writing with it. So if I need AI to help me, I can just highlight this and ask ChatGPT, add citation for this part. So ChatGPT, my loyal assistant, will go and find out and help me to put some citation there. So now I have C, for example, home. Of course, I still have to verify, right, whether it's true. So you are co-writing with AI, and what I noticed, even myself, you learn how to write better, because AI is prompting the sentence for you, and then you write, oh, this is a bit too long, so maybe I want to cancel, and you can type your own sentence here, you know. It's like you are writing together with AI. So this is free, so might as well you use it, when it's free. Once you're done, you just have to click this button, download. You can download it in doc, PDF, or Word document. So you have the whole thing done in a way, like when you co-write with the AI. So you don't have to like copy and paste, whatever, everything done there, you can just export it in Microsoft Word if you need to. All right. Same thing with Gemini. You also have the canvas mode, something for you to consider. This one, I just want to put it in a slide, but you can read it later. A lot of publishers now, even Wiley, even everything, I think all the publishers now, they are okay. Authors may wish, in fact, like Wiley, explicitly tell you, please use AI. Authors may wish to use AI tools because they want to save the headache of copywriting or copy editing and all this. So they ask you to use AI. You just have to disclose it. But it says here, while Wiley authors remain fully accountable for the material or any tools sources they use in its creation, Wiley recognizes that AI technology is growing role in manuscript preparation and provide the following guidance. So they have their guidance. But so far, if you read through, they're okay. Same thing with this one. They are okay if you want to use it, no harm. You just have to use it ethically. This is Taylor and Francis. Allows you to use it for all these purposes, no problem at all if you want to use it. And yeah, the bottom line is, if you check all this policy, no one is actually stopping you from using it. You just have to disclose and do not include fabricated facts or data. This is the part where I think a lot of people got a bit confused. It's not the writing by AI. It's not the AI detector. It's actually the fabricated data. You get what I mean? Even if you are detected like some, a lot of students will ask me, oh, the AI detector says that I 80% AI. If it's just writing, it's still fine because you are not fabricating anything. The problem will arise if you are fabricating facts like fake references or fake, all these fake citation. That is the danger, right? Not so much about the AI sounding sentences or whatever. Okay. Yeah, you see, I put it here. I think those of you who are publishing, you know. I have never encountered any publisher that asks us for AI detection report, except for local journals. Local journals tend to be a bit more fussy in this case. But anyhow, okay. So yeah, because they are unreliable in the first place, so that's why the detection is not really accurate. Even Turnitin is very lousy in AI detector, so you can't trust it 100%. All right, so what's your verdict? Can AI be your research assistant? I put an asterisk there because you are not having one, you have actually one that can do many things. So it's like you're having a lot of research assistant with you. You just have to make sure the workflow is clear. This AI assistant is helping me to do discovery. This AI is helping me to check my grammar. This AI is helping me to kind of make sure that I'm writing in the right tone or whatsoever. So you have different role for different AI tools to come up with a proper workflow for your research writing or your scholarly pursuit, right? I think that's it. Thank you so much for this 1 hour and 30 minutes. If you have questions,